the timing. That's the classic timing. It's exactly how it's supposed to go. Vigilante Williamson here on the 63rd episode of the Vigilante Williamson Show. And it's probably past the anniversary of this show. Now that I think about it. We did take the, summer break. Oh, jeez, that fade. I get the fade timing right. I'll catch a fade. We did take a summer break for the Vigilante Williamson Show. Obviously, VW Casual as the midsummer replacement or the summer replacement, so to speak. But the break was for a review that I'm trying to get out. We're gonna shoot for Halloween on that review. Still haven't told you what it is. If you're wondering, like, what is the review for? You don't know. I do, and I'm more than halfway done. But I'm not that far in. I'm still like 60% in. I just got to finish it, and it's not going to be perfect. But we're shooting for around Halloween, hopefully a little bit before. But I want to thank anyone who's watching this live, playback, or in clip form, or come from this from a clip, because we're going to get clips out of the past few shows in the next few days. So thank you for joining me, however you got here. Hellfish Chozo. A shout out to Goofanoid, which is his project. He's doing on Indiegogo. So I didn't mean to rhyme. But please check him out, man. Check him out, because we're going to complain about entertainment. That's the kind of the headline. We're going to complain about entertainment. But I don't know if complain is the right word. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain because I'm not shocked. I'm going to challenge the writers to do something, which we unfortunately know they probably won't. But I'm going to give them the damn challenge anyway. I also want to talk about the Southwest thing. And just, initially I tried to stay away from the coof, but as they've upped the ante and thrown out the Constitution and common sense, I just had to talk about it. I've probably said some things that aren't in line with this platform, so who knows what's going to happen if and when I do get to monetization. We're getting there in the 600s. Got to get to 1,000. We already hit the watch time metric recently. I tossed that on Twitter, so we are with that. But we got some cool stuff to talk about. Like I said, the Southwest thing. Some good news to Texas, if I can make it there, and just some crazy stuff elsewhere. But before we get into any of that, actually, before I talk about any of that, I kind of want to talk about boxing just for a short bit. And part of that is just recently over the weekend, Tyson Fury stopped Deontay Wilder, one of the better heavyweight fights I've seen, especially over the past 20 years. Got to go back to the 90s for a fight this good. There's probably some exceptions that I'm not thinking of, but that was a really good fight. And some of the reactions, the differences between boxing and MMA struck me. And again, I talked about Fizz Chozo, right? I want to push independent products. I want to push independent media as much as I can, as much as I know how. I'm actually a normie. Under this mask, I'm a normie. I just got yelled at by, I'm not going to tell you who, but for not seeing a movie that I didn't see. Because I'm bad at not seeing things. I haven't seen a lot of stuff. But I want to be more into the independent media because I feel like that's the only hope for good entertainment. And so that makes me think about things. And are there stream elements commands? Not really. I don't think, if there are, not that I've really programmed. And I could start adding some if there's some that you or anyone else wants. But back to the boxing thing, why I'm bringing up the independent thing. I'm thinking about marketing and the way you're supposed to do it. And this may sound very simple, but you really do have to give people what they want as often as you can. And boxing hasn't done that and doesn't have the energy or attitude to doing that. Hence, that's where it is. So, like, I'll explain why I said that. So in the comments of a lot of like videos in reaction to this fight, there are MMA fans. And there was like a poll on, I think it was a community section or something on YouTube, of who should Deontay Wilder fight next. Number one was Anthony Joshua. And there were confused MMA fans to why that wouldn't happen, because boxing has no commissioner. Now, that's not always a bad thing, because like Dana White in the UFC, he's good at making fights. He's not good at paying fighters. So you got to take the good with the bad there. But there's no one to make it happen. And the MMA fans are confused. And the boxing fans were all elitists. Like, oh, well, that's just not how it works. And as a result, boxing is way less popular than MMA. Even though I like it, even though, it still has a huge fan base, especially elsewhere, especially outside of the United States. Still pretty big, particularly in Europe and Mexico and Latin America in general. Still pretty big, and in other places. But the point is lost popularity at the face of like procedure, at the face of, because it's now popular to just never match up guys and make sure they fight as many tomato cans to get, well, not always tomato cans, I just got it legit. I shouldn't say it, but make sure that like we never get the real fights. It takes forever. And boxing is pay-per-view only. That's another issue. Well, there is boxing. You know what? They used to do a lot more TV. They don't do that as much. They used to, and they used to fight more. One thing I will say, boxing does need jobbers, and that's okay. What they used to do is like, okay, it's just a random Saturday. Here's on NBC or whatever sport network or whatever major network or ESPN, and you'll have a big boxer fight somebody they should probably beat, and they'll probably beat them in 4 or 5 rounds, and they could do it 8 or 9 weeks after a fight because it's not anyone, or not anyone dangerous, and you promote boxing, and then that gives them their tune-up fights for when they fight real competition. That's how they used to do it in boxing, and there was a lot more on TV, but they don't do that anymore. They don't do that anymore. And if they did, it would be more popular. Going to start a stream too. Is planning on inviting you. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, I want to stream with you. I've been catching your streams and stuff. Hell's axe. But right now I'm trying to stream in this time slot, either starting at noon or probably 1 because I'm not sleeping. And Hell's axe. So around the 1 o'clock hour, I'm streaming. I'm competing with the world, man. I think either BBC, the real BBC, and or Eric July are going to go, and then otherwise it's like Midnight's Edge. It's like everybody has a stream now in this community. That's why I gotta branch out. But all that rant about boxing and it's kind of like not doing things right, marketing, too holier for thou marketing. We should look at Hollywood as boxing. We want to be MMA. We need to get. That's why I'm going to keep. I got to get the link. You know what, Fish Chozo? You know what command I need to add? I need to add a command for your link. It's important. It's very important. And hopefully, is my damn VPN, so it's a Mexican dollar still on. I gotta turn my VPN off so I can see, because you don't. It's not exaggeratory. Come on. Oh, jeez. Still think I'm in Mexico. Sorry about the dead air / delay. Oh, man. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get your page up, but it's because of my VPN, it's actually making things awkward. I want to show this. This is my link to actually watching the said fight. And not sure how legal everything is. Alrighty. So, and this weekend I am actually going to support this. If we can get my man to $504, we will have backed an independent creator, right? At the end of the day, I'm going to complain. That's the first thing I'm going to do is complain about fucking gay Superman like everyone else is, right? We're all going to complain about how, they're making Superman gay. They're doing it for agenda. All the same talking points we've talked about a year. If we want to stop that, or rather, we can't stop that. That's not even the right thing to want. And some people think they can stop that. I don't. What we can do is say, hey, we got my man Fizz Chozo in the chat. He's talking. He's cool. He's created something. He's trying to fund it. He's not asking for millions of our dollars like every other corporation. It's 18 for a variant cover, 3 for a digital copy, 9 for a normal, and then there's another 9 for the trading card. You can get a cameo in issue 2. And then there's a variant cover plus a cameo. Now, maybe you're not interested, maybe, but if you are, if you look at the artwork, look at the synopsis, and this is interesting. He's said it before, and I'll read it again. Struggling to keep his schizophrenia manageable, young Hernando Maine makes ends meet by performing as a clown in an amusement park, but when his mother is killed by a demonic cult, he's pushed over the tipping point, armed with slapstick props and various imaginary friends. He faces a world of horrors, and the devil may care laugh as the garish gallant Goofiness. He's actually a hero. He has this kind of messed up backstory, but he's like the hero. You have this cool stylized art. And eventually I probably should ask Fizz Chozo on to kind of ask him more about it. But we should promote it. We all should. Because this is all this is it again, Mexican. This is all the mainstream media has for us. This is it. We're not getting anything else. We will never get anything else. It's not going to happen. And if Fizz Chozo's correct from this sense, John Kent isn't really Superman. They aged him up recently. Now we know why. I'm not scared against ads. Shout out to Asimar. But yeah, and shout out to Bryce Day. But yeah, no fear. Hell Gomer Kyle. Can't wait for the Superman and Batman wedding. That's where we're headed. And that's fine. I don't care. Cool. Good for you guys. Enjoy. I hope you guys are happy. Make a cute couple. Let's promote Goofanoid. If you're interested, worst case scenario, get a digital copy. It's $3. If you look at it like, you know what, I'd love to support it. It's a little too cool. Give it. You guys can do that. And you don't gotta do it now. I'm gonna keep doing it. And I'm doing it because how else are we going to get any competition for this? And it takes time. It's not gonna be like Goofanoid the series or any of our creative endeavors in the series. I know somebody yesterday said they want to do an indie game. I want to do an indie game. I'm trying to hopefully work my way towards getting back into music again. And we all have creative endeavors we need to promote. This is as much a culture war as it is anything. To parrot the aforementioned Eric July. And so if some of us are creative and we want to stop having our culture shit on or stop being triggered, I have to, because I have a channel in this space, I have to talk about this. I have not no choice because I've avoided stories before. And I was I was going to talk a little bit about it, but it really kind of blew up. I don't really care about this story like that because Superman is dead. They killed him. Injustice era Superman to me did so much damage to him. They can take his son and have him kiss men. That's fine. That's on them. My challenge is to write a good comic. I trust Fizz Chozo, who I've never read any of his comics before ever. I trust him more than I trust his. Did Bendis write this? Does Bendis? Yeah, Bendis aged up John Kent. Can't be depressed when the Y'all Fan Girls came in. Whoever wrote this, look at Fabulous. It says Taylor Tim's L. Teeb. I don't offhand know who wrote this because, like I said, I'm to basically annoy me. So Fish Chozo, who has never made a comic book before ever, I I'm telling you with all my heart, I trust his writing well better than them. Because and this will work as far as marketing because these issues, this issue, I'm not trying to laugh, but this issue, because this looks like something like, man, I'm not trying to laugh. It look it looks stereotypical. That's what it is. It's almost like they had to make sure you knew what it was. He he had never looked like this ever before, and now he's swaying his hips because this is the issue where he comes out after having never been showed any tips to it or any hints towards being that way. Now you show it like that. You show him swaying his hips and him kissing this guy with pink hair. Like of course, and of course, this femboy Hooters looking dude. Man, Superman, Son of Kal-El, #3. I guarantee you they sell a lot of copies of this individual comic. You also got to remember the comic book industry is in gimmick land. So they want to gimmick up a comic, sell a bunch of copies. They'll sell a bunch of copies of this fabulous Kryptonian. And I trust Fizz Chozo, who's never made a comic before ever, over the people who did this. You want to know two reasons why. One, neither one of them, neither of these three are the people who actually created Superman. At least Fizz Chozo created Goofanoid. You know, I didn't even drop the damn link. All this shit I was talking. Here you go. Let's get Goofanoid. Please check out my man Fizz Chozo again. Black folks taking a seat to people who were born straight. Yeah, you know what? Because they did have a black Superman, right? And now it's like gay Superman is more important. Yeah, okay, Zach's found. Yeah, sorry, I just ran it on because of this shit. Yeah, please, 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 because this is all we're going to get is gimmicks. This is for a gimmick. This is for shock value. We're doing the promotion again. That's great. That's fun. But I much rather promote this. Again, because of my VPN, this is not what it is that's in Mexican dollars. In US dollars, 504 to go. Let's smash this goal. Let's get more people who are creative making comics. Let's provide an alternative. And let's do it whatever way makes the fans happy and makes people happy. Let's not be boxing. I love boxing. Well, no, this is not boxing. Boxing's past this phase of the gimmick phase. Well, no, boxing is in his gimmick phase, right? You got Logan Paul. Shouldn't say that. It works. We're talking about it. When's the last people talked about Superboy? That's why the gimmicks work. That's why they do the gimmicks. That's why they do the gimmicks. They tried with Black Superman. That didn't get anyone's go. But see a Superman kiss or the Superman's son to be specific kiss a man that triggered people. Again, fun Goofanoid. All right. Oh, that's a positive story. Get to that later. He says when he was in Super Sons. But I mean the Super Sons thing, like that probably comic book fans cared about that stuff. But this is like something in mainstream. And that's why they did it for mainstream hype. Because Superman is a dead character. Again, I said it earlier. Some part of this culture got so morally bankrupt that we started to keep saying, well, Superman could never exist. He's too moral. Something about how, and this happened maybe late 2000s, everything got dark and edgy and gritty. early tens, and it was like, no, he's too moral, and so it became more interesting to see either directly a evil him by like Injustice or another alternate universe, or a mock version of an evil him. And I guess when I really think about some of that, that actually starts in the early 2000s with comics like The Boys and Invincible as in their comic form. And then now we see that's trend is still continuing with those things in their current property form with The Boys and Invincible. It's the evil Superman gimmick. We want to see Superman evil. We want to see a bad Superman. We want to see a dark Superman. Injustice. We can't believe in a moral, just truth, justice in the American way. You just don't believe in that anymore. That's fake. That was the fake part. That became the fake part of Superman. We could believe a man could fly. We could believe a man could be hit by a train, more powerful than a locomotive, leap tall building with a single bound. We could believe that, but to have that morality, to have that power and do that with it, that became the unbelievable part for a lot of the writers and the creators, let alone the fans. And that destroys Superman to me. So with this is just gimmicks to representation, gimmicks to resurrect it. But that killed Superman. So I wish the son of Kal-El well. You bigots. He's his dad's dead. He's forging his own path. His dad's not dead in the comics. I think he's doing like a war world or something. You guys can correct me. Yep. Then we kept having evil Superman, either directly evil Superman or another version of Superman. He's evil. Let me actually read through some of the story. DC Comics confirms that their new Superman, Jonathan Kent, son of Clark Kent, is attracted to men. The confirmation came after DC Comics artist former DC Comics artist, he's no longer there, Ethan Van Sciver scooped that DC Comics would make Superman gay in the current Superman, Son of Kal-El series. In his video back in August, Van Sciver said, so anyway, Clark Kent is going bye-bye and they're going to replace him with Jonathan Kent. Then they're going to announce Jonathan Kent is gay, so Superman is effectively gay. Well, you were wrong, Ethan. He's bisexual, you bigot. It's sarcasm, just in case. If you don't get it, I don't know. Jonathan Kent did indeed replace Clark Kent with Superman in Superman 32 after John and Superman defeated the Shadow Breed. I guess he's looking kind of fabulous here. Maybe they did tease it. I didn't read these comics. No one did. Maybe they did tease the that he was in the closet or whatever it was. Let me see. At the end of the day, Superman tells John, next time you wonder if you measure up, just think of yourself just as the son of Superman. Know that you're the Superman whom all superheroes will be measured one day. The Superman I aspire to be. Usually people get mad at those sort of things, but when you say it to your son, you're trying to build him up to be Superman. That's the shit you would say. So that's actually kind of cool. That's something Superman would say to his son. He's got to build him up. Because, it's become a common trope as I pause on that frame. You bigots. But it's a trope for when you have a new character. And Jonathan Kent's not a new character. But when you have the new character that you're trying to make popular, you have the old character tell them how great they are. But it's in that context, it actually works. It was my point. In Superman, Son of Kal-El #5, which is due out in November, DC Comics confirms Superman will be attracted to men by sharing preview images for the upcoming issue. One shows them one shows Kent kissing a reporter named Jay Nakamura. They always make it. It's always an ethnic gay man. He's always not. If they make it, is that a Batman Cup? Shout out to, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he's maybe somebody says Superman and Batman are dating. Maybe they already are. There you go. But they always do that. I say usually they turn a black man gay because they do. They do it to the other races too. Sorry, Jay Nakamura. See, it's always a gay Latino, gay Asian, a gay black man. They constantly they want to make sure everybody gets their shit. And I'm not trying to disrespect gay people when I say this, but they're always like they're trying to normalize, in my view, in a lot of people's view, because of this constant push. They're trying to overrepresent homosexuality to the point where they make it as if straight is wrong because they are, or it's more normal for people of all these different ethnicities to be homosexual than it is straight. It should be, they're almost trying to present it as that should be the more expected result. And that is the thing. It's like, what the fuck? Remember, DC Pride. It's fabulous. In a blog post, DC Comics explains, and no, I'm not going to subscribe to notifications. I'm here every day. Bounding. Just like his father before him, John Kent has fallen for a reporter. Oh, Lord. Of course. I didn't think about that. After striking up a friendship with reporter Jay Nakamura, shout out to Shinsuke, he and John became romantically involved in the pages of Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 5. Number 5, I thought was number 3. Writer Tom Taylor, so he's the guy who ultimately made this decision. Dark Knights of Steel, and artist John Timms from Harley Quinn. The ad following the scene with Superman mentally and physically burns out for trying to save everyone. Jay is there to care for the Man of Steel. Not only they share an image of Kent kissing Nakamura, they all also built a cover up by Travis Moore and Tamora Bondvillain. Her name's Bondvillain? Not like Bond the villain, but Bondvillain. Okay, whatever. With Kent kissing Nakamura, leaning in to kiss Nakamura, marked up with the DC Pride logo. We actually showed that earlier. Another cover by Enhik Lee, and sorry if I'm mispronouncing that individual's name, shows Nakamura and Kent sitting side by side. It also features another DC Pride logo. You know what's weird? Okay, they made this individual Asian, but they didn't draw them to be Asian. I'm not trying to deep dive, but there's something to this logic, man. There's something to this agenda, man. My theory is that they're the like supremacist istophobes, right? That's my theory. That's been my long-standing theory. Like they actually hate all the groups they just try to champion. And like they do things, and maybe it's just incompetence, because these guys, especially when you're talking about a lot of these major comic artists and writer, a lot of it's rushing, a lot of it's, hey, I'm writing this, and this, I'm drawing this, and this. We're just trying to get this shit in and out, get these checks, and keep it moving. And get our little, and hopefully us and our DC actually pays more than Marvel. I was about to say our you talk about the Marvel, the 5 or 6 writers in an apartment in New York eating ramen. But DC is known to pay a little bit better. If there were no more straight people, how would there be people in the future? Well, maybe that's the point. But dun dun dun, hell, one rough girl. And Zach says they may sell extra comics, but that's couch cushion change for AT&T. This drives people to select online platforms to yell at each other and in the process consume advertising. Yeah, that's the point. I'm not really, like I said, I'm joking about it, biggest, whatever. I don't care. My challenge is write a good story. You guys did a gimmick. You got some marketing. You'll sell a bunch of comics here. People will probably forget. You'll probably bring Clark Kent back and sell a bunch of comics then. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. That's nice. That's all this shit. People, scream, but like, write a good story. Write a good story. I don't even care about the agenda. With Jonathan Kent, gay Superman, do something interesting. Do something very interesting. Make a story that's like, oh, that was a really good story. No matter what little agenda, that was a really good story. It can be done if they wanted to. If they really wanted to, they could create really good stories. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not reading this. That's part of the reason they do stuff like that, is to get people to talk about it and potentially pick it up as a speculator. Maybe you read it, maybe you catch on. Now that's not going to happen with this. With a lot of these comics, a lot of these gimmick comics, not just, and I say gimmick, I mean even as something as successful as King Spawn, where they do all sorts of promotional gimmicks. In this case, it's the content itself. They'll do a bunch of alt, not alt covers, but alternate covers, variant covers, and they'll sell a bunch of, copies based off the strength of people. A lot of people will buy this off the issue, having the issue when you first get bisexual Jonathan Kent. It will still sell like that individual issue and then nothing else. Or maybe this doesn't sell. I don't know. Because like I said, Superman's been long dead. Like I said earlier. I hope we clip that out. That was actually a pretty good. Usually my rants suck, but that was pretty coherent. All right. We are in a very different and much more welcome place today than we were 10 or 5 years ago when I asked, what's this? Oh, this is I'm sorry, I skipped a paragraph. This is who was this? Tom Taylor? Yeah, Tom Taylor. Okay. Tom Taylor went on the IGN because I started ranting and scrolling, so I think I skipped a lot of stuff. My bad. Over the years in this industry, it probably won't surprise you to hear I've heard queer characters and storylines rejected. I feel like it was letting people down every time I let this happen. Oh boy, you gotta do this pander. Maybe it's truth. I'm not gonna just throw it out. It very well could be truth to it. We're in a different place, and we're a different and much more welcome place than we were 10 or even 5 years ago. When I was asked if I want to write a new Superman with a new #1 for the DC universe, I knew replacing Clark Kent with another, oh boy, straight white savior. He's not, I mean, he's Kryptonian, so he's not like European. Could be a real opportunity missed. I've always said everyone needs heroes and everyone deserves to see themselves in their heroes. Today's Superman is the strongest superhero on the planet. Is coming out. Or today's Superman, the strongest superhero on the planet, is coming out. He added. So I reject this based upon how terrible they are writing. Like, I don't want to be represented in any comics unless I write them. And even then, I'll probably screw it up myself. But no, I don't ever want to be represented in any way because they like I said, they just emasculate black men most of the time. They represent us. At least just speaking for myself. I don't want the representation because you guys just use it as a gimmick and it's usually not done well. So I don't want to do that. I think the representation is a myth. I think I was able to like superheroes regardless of their race or gender if they were interesting, or characters regardless of their race or gender if I like them. I don't think you need it to have exact clones of yourself as a superhero in order to like it. I don't believe that. And I'm not sure if any of you guys do or anyone watching this playback or clip. But I don't. I genuinely don't. And I again, rather it not happen with all the pandering and just the way we're portrayed, because it's from this like really disturbing fantasized slant that I'd rather never ever be represented by. Because no group is a monolith, firstly. No group. You can't take a group of people and get them to agree on the same pizza. Some of them may be lactose intolerant, can't even eat pizza. There's nothing, people are not, there's a lot of ways that people can just be, brainwashed, and we'll get into that. But no, people aren't a monolith like that. So that's why I don't really like this stuff in general. I could go through the rest of the article, but I think you guys get it, right? I'm really tired of all the black men represent all gay and black women and single bitches. Yeah. Angry black women with short haircuts. Overweight, angry black women with short haircuts and gay black men. And they're like, representation. Aren't you happy to be represented? No, I'm not. I'd rather you not do it. I'm actually not. And then this guy's supposed to be Asian. But they're so racist they can't even draw him as Asian. But at least they're not homophobic. I guess I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what do you do? Another superhero has been made gay, or it's just how it goes. That's how it goes. Um, all right, let's go to the next depression topic. Usually, I have a transition. It's all the front. It says one rough girl, but there is no transition. Uh, pun not intended. So this is interesting. This Southwest Airlines thing is interesting. I think we've been talking about how the COOF jab mandates. Is there anything about saying gene therapy? I'm gonna call it gene therapy. Yeah, it's really strange having all these characters turn bi, which is gay, just promote gay characters. Who wants this? Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. But it's the agenda says it must be, so therefore it must be. It's clockwork. It's a Tuesday. It's literally a Tuesday. You know, to you it was Superman turning gay. To me, it was just a Tuesday. It's just a Tuesday. It's just another day. Another character has been eaten up by the agenda, and if you don't like it, you're a bigot. If you don't like the politics, don't buy the books. You bigots. All right. So, speculation swirls about a possible sick out as Southwest Airlines abruptly cancels more than 1,800 flights. So, and we'll get into it with actually a couple articles. Basically, uh, President Biden, he's technically the president. He's really the instrument through which the globalists act as a dictator, basically. Act as dictator. After projecting all that shit on the Orange Man, which we're not pro Orange either, but eesh. In any event, he has his mandates with the employee mandates over jabs. So it hasn't actually affected me yet. I'm not sure about everyone else, but it is affecting Southwest. It looks like there are potential sick outs, meaning employees who are calling out sick in mass in protest. This is the rumor. This is still a rumor, by the way. Yeah, he's a ventriloquist dummy. Well, she's a ventriloquist dummy for the. They're all puppets. Like she's not even the puppeteer, but she's like the figurehead puppeteer, I guess. But yeah, it's not really constitutional or legal, but it's the way it is. Now we're mandated to take gene therapy for the rest of our lives if we want to have a job. That's the law. So that's that. You got to do what the law says. Take your gene therapy. Okay. In any event, people are fighting back. And this is the only way there's any chance that we will ever have any non-gene therapy mandates. And we'll talk about some of that stuff being pushed back. Only fly Delta. I don't know if I'll ever fly again. I'm not dealing with any of this shit. I haven't dealt with this shit personally. I've only flown once since the COOF started the ads. I do need to just get an ad blocker here. Whatever. Geez, is there any more story? Oh, here it is. Read more. But like the only way we can do anything is stuff like this. I am willing to lose my job. I hope I don't. I like the job I just started. But I am willing to lose it because I'm not getting gene therapy. And I got to get myself healthy in general, man. Brightest took 3 vacations this year because I'm sure they'd be my last. You're probably right to do so. I didn't really, I've been in such bad, like, I've had so many mobility issues. I haven't really flown. I got to get myself healthy myself on the fly for a meetup. So I don't want to have any issue. That's another reason I don't want to take this damn gene therapy and then have a heart issue. You know what I mean? I have to get a lot of weight off of my body. It is like the past 5 or 6 months, knee issues, back issues, barely moving. Fucking no, I know what need to do. I just don't have the self control. It's not. I've lost tons of weight before. I've been healthy for years. I went through a patch of being really healthy for a while. Um, Even though my weight wasn't perfect by any means, but I tried my damnedest. Um, Bigot is a fun word to say, isn't it? That's why I've been saying it. You guys are bigots. Don't like gay Superman. Fucking bigots. And fucking racist. Just call people racist for any reason now. What a time to be alive. People are trying to protest so they're not pump filling chemicals, and everyone hates them for it. What a time to be alive. Oh man. Because I don't want RNA gene therapy, and I don't want my arms to turn into a magnet. I have to not be employed. No. So let's actually get into the article. What happened with Southwest, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Because as usual, my first few stories are going long, and we do have hard outs on this show. So thousands of Americans were stranded at airports nationwide this weekend after Southwest Airlines abruptly canceled nearly 2,000 flights. Southwest, one of America's most popular airlines, canceled more than 1,000 flights on Sunday after canceling more than 800 flights on Saturday. The Washington Post reported another 1,500 flights had been delayed. The airline claimed the unusual delays were caused by air traffic control and weather issues. Air traffic control issues and disruptive weather has resulted in high volume of cancellation throughout the weekend. While we work to recover our operation, we appreciate your patience as we accommodate customers, and customer service wait times are longer than usual, Southwest Airlines tweeted on Saturday. What did the FAA say? The Federal Aviation Administration confirmed there was some ATC staffing, so air traffic control staffing, and weather issues on Friday, not Saturday. Otherwise, the agency blamed logistical issues for the canceled flights. This is what CNBC reported. And we'll get into one of CNBC's reports in a second. FAA said there were a few hours of flight delays, or more than that, obviously, on Friday afternoon because of severe weather and staffing issues at Jacksonville Air Route Traffic Control. Oh, so is that how they do that? So it controls airspace for 5 parts in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, and South Carolina. No FAA traffic staffing shortage have been reported since Friday. Some airlines continue to experience scheduling challenges due to aircraft and crews being out of place. Please contact the airline for details about current flight schedules. Is it something more? Because that's the rumor. Again, this is rumor and innuendo. I have nothing confirmed personally. As tens of thousands of Americans were left stranded at airports over the abrupt flight cancellations, the mass flight cancellation, which did not impact other air carriers, were speculated to be related to a sickout or protest over the COOF jab mandates or the gene therapy mandates. Reporter Leland Vittert said that federal employees were protesting a gene therapy mandate. Interesting, the mass flight cancellations began one day after the Southwest Airline Pilots Association filed a request in federal court to temporarily block the gene therapy mandates. Southwest Airline Pilots Associations, however, denied the flight cancellations were related to action taken by Southwest pilots. Well, it certainly looks like it is. That's certainly not how it appears. The SWPA said while it was aware operational difficulties affecting Southwest Airlines, we can say with confidence that our pilots are not participating in any official or unofficial job action. So they're saying we were not striking. And this is a very disturbing picture. I'm sorry, I can't. Let's just go up. Our pilots will continue to overcome management's poor planning as well as any external operational challenges and remain the most productive pilots in the world, the Union, the Post reported. Is that it? Is it? So this really just asks questions of what happened. And there are some answers. The CEO of Southwest said he said is he never wanted this gene therapy, because that's what it is. Again, it's RNA therapy mandate, but the demon in chief forced his hand. Gary Kelly told CNBC he believes businesses should not impose gene therapy mandates on employees, and I don't even think they constitutionally can. But again, the law doesn't matter anymore. We're in a dictatorship. We're in a plutocracy. We're in a plutocratic dictatorship. And so the powers that be make up rules. They send an old man out to tell us what they are, and we just do them. And all the mechanisms that used to exist, they don't anymore. Welcome to the Roaring 20s. I've never. This is the CEO Gary Kelly speaking. I've never been in favor of corporations imposing that kind of mandate. I'm not in favor of that. Never have been. He said in an interview on Squawk on the Street. But the executive order from Demon Biden mandates to all federal employees and then all federal contractors, which covers all the major airlines, have to have a jab mandate by December 8th. So we're working through that. Southwest says last week that its 56,000 employees need to be gene therapied against the COOF by December 8th to keep working at the airline under federal mandate. Southwest announcement came a few days after other carriers, including American, Alaska, JetBlue, etc., informed employees about the same thing. In August, before Biden's administrative action, United Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines instituted gene therapy mandates for their staffs. United said earlier this month 96% of its 67,000 employees shared proof of jab by its September deadline. So a lot of people still apparently got it. Because a lot of people, when their job is on the line, they just do it. And that's your choice. But I again will not gene therapy for my job. Southwest started out, but I will try to extend it. Hey, come on, can we keep it going, man? But I haven't heard anything about it, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. Southwest started to offer incentives such as extra pay to spur the uptake of the jab in mid-September, following the footsteps of other carriers, Delta, American, and Airline. So, and apparently unjabbed employees have to pay an extra $200 a month for company health insurance. And of course, we're required to have health insurance. It's funny how that happened. If this is a long-term plan, I would ask questions. Kelly noted Southwest efforts to encourage employees to receive a gene therapy shot, adding that individuals are able to apply for religious and medical exemptions. And if you are opposed, Jesus, Revelation 50. I forgot the scriptures, but you can't get there are places who will allow you to religious or medical exemption, or if you medically can't. In any event, this is he says my goal is not that anyone lose their job. The objective here is to improve health and safety. That's not what gene therapy does. It's not for people to lose their jobs. That's pretty much it. So he doesn't really say anything about the flights. He just says okay, I guess their operations are approving as of Tuesday. So the one thing is, why did it only happen to Southwest? I'm reading all that stuff, and hell, Fitzgerald is back, an all thinker, no worries about being late, and healthy pilots. Oof, yeah, it says healthy pilots dying of blood clots and heart attacks. Wonder why they didn't take the jet. Yeah, like gene therapy, because that's what it is. It's gene therapy, and yeah, welcome back, Fitzgerald. So I read all that. I read a lot of stuff. It's interesting to see that the CEO would say, it's not my decision. It's kind of a softer decision. He wasn't hard nosed in trying to get his employees to take jabs. Um, it's also interesting that that happened. That an airline would cancel so many flights like that. Why did it only happen to Southwest? Is it the union issues that caused that to only happen to Southwest? We read initially in the Blaze report, there was something with the Pilots Association. One day they filed a federal court motion to block these mandates. So that's the Southwest Pilots Association. I guess it's a union specific to that airline. Um, isn't it funny that unions, maybe as much as I give unions shit, especially those teachers unions and the educational unions, how demonic they can be. Unions may be the only ones that push back against this. We covered last week on the Culture Crime Fighters, the union Hollywood IATSE, I believe it is. They're on strike. And Matt brought up, I wonder if this is related to the jab mandates. Now, he actually did a video about that, and someone from said union said, no, it has nothing to do with that. We're all in favor. Hey, we even saw some of these reports that some of these airlines have 96% jab rate. So maybe that is the case, but it's just interesting that the timing of certain things, you know what I mean? So we'll see. Well, only, these are all rumors. I cannot tell you with any certainty that because of the jab mandates, a bunch of employees called out sick in protest. I don't know that happened. But we'll see if things like this continue to happen. And on the note of jab mandates, I wish, you didn't have to make a law for this, but Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, when planning to move, bans COOF mandates for private businesses. So I don't know how that's going to work. I guess with federal contractors, I don't know, because airlines, I guess, federally contracted, so therefore that don't apply to them. But Texas Governor Greg Abbott is clamping down all the way. The newest executive order from his office stipulates that jab mandates are not allowed anywhere in Texas from both a public or private entity standpoint. It's indicated this is being done because the governor believes these jab mandates are causing more of a disruption to the state than the pandemic itself at this point. We see a lot of people are talking about worker shortages, and we'll talk about one that's very similar to, like I said, someone close to me, because I've mentioned it on the channel, but my sister working in the medical field, and she used, I don't want to talk too much about it, but a lot of people will let go from her, the network she works for, because of these jab mandates, and that's facing other areas as well. And it's ridiculous. And a lot of people we have a worker shortage, quote unquote. We already have the government paying people to stay home, and then you add this on top of it. It's just making it, even worse. So and that's starting to deconstruct the infrastructure of this country. They really destroyed this country slowly. Well, not slowly anymore, but definitely surely. Yeah, the jab could. You know what? That would be more fun if it turned me into a mutant turtle. Fizz Chozo. I didn't think of that. Now you got me pro jab. Only dumb sheep will take orders and don't refuse to be controlled by dictators. That's how it's been from the start. I'm not gonna tell no one what to do, but no one's gonna tell me what to do, man. Like, I'm not gonna just listen to these motherfuckers. You are free to do as you wish, man. This is a free country for now. Well, not anymore, I guess. It's not a free country. That's no longer true. These mandates mean this is no longer a free country. If in order to be employed, you need to do gene therapy, this isn't free. That's not a freedom. This is not a place where you have freedom, because you literally cannot earn income unless you're doing gene therapy. And newsflash to anyone who's already done their gene therapy and think, oh, well, I've already done it, I don't have to do. You are not done. You're not done. You'll never be done. So literally, this is no longer a free country because the mandates are going to extend that you stay regularly jabbed up, regularly getting your gene therapy shots in order to stay employed, in order to function as a basic human being. So this is no longer a free country. So I apologize for saying that. All right. So let's get back to a different executive order. Let's get back to Texas, which I'm hoping to get to the only state that's trying to be free. He says, I issued an executive order uh, prohibiting vaccine mandates by any entity in Texas. I added that issued special session agenda. The COVID-19 vaccine is safe and effective and our best defense against the virus, but should always remain voluntary and never forced. Well, think in Iverson. I guess I could say that. I went edgy last episode, but unfortunately, because this is not a free country and you do not really have freedom of speech, I can't even say the product that is actually more effective. I'm not allowed to be in this free country, so-called free country. Legal language translates to Abbott explaining how he's routinely made sure the disaster proclamation for the state of Texas overall, as well as individual counties, has been ongoing. It's intended to convey the office has been consistent in monitoring the situation. The most important element of the executive order is as follows. No entity in Texas can compel a receipt of the gene therapy by any individual, including an employee or consumer who objects to such gene therapy for any reason, such as personal conscience, based on a religious belief, or for medical reasons, including prior recovery from COOF. Here, I hereby suspend all relevant statutes to the extent necessary to enforce this prohibition. I keep saying religious exemptions. Isn't that interesting as religious exemptions? I wonder what this is leading to or is. It's the latest in a series of executive orders. What's different about this one is the executive order at the end of August banned jab mandates for government entities. I'm sorry, I'm reading a lot of legalese. The long and short of it is, as we're pretty much done with the article, is in Texas, they're banning COOF mandates for private businesses. Again, I don't think these mandates were ever constitutional in the first place. So you really shouldn't even need a law to do this. But we live in cloud world. We just have all accepted that shit. So fuck that. In any event, I'm planning on moving to Texas. I'm hoping to move to Texas. I don't know how long this is gonna last because he's not supposed to be doing this. The rest of the mainstream state-sponsored media hates him, and therefore they get all the state-sponsored media useful idiots to hate him and hate what's my man DeSantos in Florida, who does a lot of similar stuff. Because Florida and Texas seem like the only places, if you don't want to take the jab, that you can go. And I don't know how the federal job thing is gonna work as far as those states. Just like I don't know how everything's going to happen with all these employees. We talked about the airlines happening with nurses and medical professionals. There's a shortage because they suspended in Quebec thousands of nurses who didn't want to get gene therapy. Like I said, the system my sister works for let go a significant number of people based upon this. So we have these, and remember, these places, remember, they're the first line of defense. We were all celebrating these people earlier while they were doing TikToks and shit. But in a lot of places, they are shortage. There are shortages already. They're natural shortages. And you just want to make them worse. I thought this was about health. If this is about health, why are you getting rid of the most all these health professionals? Who's supposed to take care of people? And the jab does not stop the spread. Just because you have been jabbed does not mean you cannot contract nor transmit the virus. So we've established that long ago. And he said he will win again. He has the backing of all the illegals he let in. We talking about Biden. I don't think he's running again. I think it'll be like Kamala or some other demon they toss up there. Because Abbott didn't let illegals in, did he? I don't know as much about. Maybe he did. I don't know. I thought Biden obviously did. That border is a mess. Oh yeah, Joe. You're talking about Joe. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna run again. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. Who knows? Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, the Democrats. If that's your thing, Democrats will run the world forever. That's it, because of the election process and having the media on their side. That's it. They don't have to do anything differently. This is we're in a one party state, folks. Like I mean, it's cool to see what Abbott and DeSantis is doing. They're outlaws, they're rebels, they're evil white supremacist Republicans. We're in a one party state, folks, for the foreseeable future. But to go back into this, the greater story, the us versus them, the people who, for whatever reason, don't want to be gene therapied against the world that is trying to force that upon them, and the lengths they're going to the extent that they are cutting out their noses to spite their faces. Whether we're talking about this nurse shortage, and the Quebec area is not the only area with the situation. We talked about the Southwest situation. We talked yesterday about the Colorado State. We had, oh man, I can't think. Who was it who actually went to Colorado State, called up a few of his buddies and said, hey, we're not going to give money to him anymore. There's a lot of stuff going on. This is going to be the ongoing thing. They're going to constantly push this on everyone. This is now mandates. I don't know to what extent it's going to go. I mean, unfortunately, I do know it's probably going to go to the extent that we have in Australia. It's probably going to get further than that. But this is where it's going now. Places are destroying themselves to enforce that everyone be gene therapy, including nurses themselves. Said you can refuse the jab due to the Geneva Convention if you didn't want to be a test subject. The Geneva, all those rules don't matter anymore. Like you're probably right. This is a massive experiment, even though I think they know what this is going to do, and they have nefarious. This is my belief. This is nothing, this is nothing official, but there's nefarious elements to it. But the laws don't matter. It's against the Constitution. It's against the Geneva Convention. It's against common sense. It's against basic decency. It's against basic privacy, because there is HIPAA, at least in America. It was, again, it don't matter anymore. But yeah, I'll read through some of it. A lot of this has gotten wordy, and I apologize. I feel like I've just been reading. I haven't really been reacting as much because got to get out of here in a second. But we're getting through this stuff. So the Quebec Order of Nurses said it fully intends to suspend the nursing licenses, meaning all these individuals, all their work to become nurses, they get their license suspended for not being fully jabbed against the COOF, and the deadline to receive the first dose was October 15th. So, and to be fair, a significant portion, they're jabbed up. 80,500 nurses, 4,000 are not. 2,000, what is it? 2,800 are unjabbed. 1,500 only have one dose. So you got to get that second dose. Jesus. Wow. And I guess individuals who get jabbed this week have to wait 21 days before having a second dose. And then there's unverified 5,000. So maybe there's more who are not jabbed up. Maybe it's as much as 10,000. And so, wow, Quebec has suspended 1,500 healthcare workers. The only way to do anything is to call their bluff, and to potentially to potentially be jobless and try to figure another way to make money. And that sounds frightening to have to ask thousands and maybe millions of people to do that all at once. It seems frightening to me. But I don't know what society, I guess society just has to shut down because certain people don't want to get gene therapy. I guess it's come to that. I guess there's no other way, right? And it's, to be fair, significant amount of people, including people maybe in this chat, have already gotten it. I know a lot of people aren't getting it. You don't have the testosterone to bring up the facts unlawful, then you're probably going to be jabbed. Lawful or not, I'm not getting it. Under no circumstances am I getting it. There's just, unless I am like shot and just force jabbed. Unless it comes to that point and they're able to, jump me and do it, I'm not getting it. I am not willingly getting this thing. Fitzchosen says I'm not getting the jab. Of course, the shit's unlawful. The shit's unlawful via anything you could think of, and again, against common decency. But that's what the authoritarians, that's what they're doing. I'm not trying to breeze through stories, but I am trying to connect dots. So us and the peons of the earth, no matter where you are on the earth, we're dealing with this. We're potentially going to lose our jobs if we don't get certain gene therapies. Hell, not only are we going to lose our jobs, once we do lose our jobs, the jobs that we do that help society function, they're going to be less effective in doing that. So nurses. So if you get sick in Quebec, good luck. Because there are no nurses. You want to fly now? Good luck. There are no pilots. Because they don't want to get gene therapy. So we're just going to shut society down. Because we want to force everybody to get an experimental gene therapy that does not impact the transmission of, it impacts the symptoms. It impacts the symptoms you, at least allegedly impacts the symptoms you face, but does nothing in transmission of this, of the coof. But it's still apparently just doing that is effective enough to destroy society in order to force this gene therapy. That's what we have to deal with as normal people. But these motherfuckers, these powerful motherfuckers, they don't have to face consequences for any of their fucking actions. The British police will not take action against Prince Andrew over sexual assault claims. And here's he who did not off himself. And neither did Vigilante Williamson. With all the streams I've been doing, I did not off myself if something happens to me. I'm in a good place. Well, besides this crazy shit in this society, we live in a society. British police announced they would not take action against Prince Andrew after an Epstein accuser claimed that he sexually assaulted her. Virginia, I'm not going to try to pronounce her name. I've heard of her name, though. Is it Ufray or something like that? Claimed to be a trafficking victim in 2001 when she was 17 and allegedly forced to have sex with Andrew in London. And we know what he did, and we know who was on that island. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And we know what happened to him, and it doesn't matter. Just like we know what happened at McAfee, and it doesn't matter. If I do nothing, there's a few things I want you to take away from this channel and this show that every story seems to go amongst. One, don't worship man. Don't worship human. Don't believe in people to the extent that you lose power over what you can do. Because if there's anything you should learn from the mandates and stuff, hey, you can have an impact by refusing, if that's your choice. That's your choice. I'm not telling you to do it either. But you have more impact than the avatars you use, than whoever you look forward to, whether it's a politician or whatever. You have more power than they do, whether you believe it or not. And the other thing is, I want to present the world as it actually is, as a whole. I want you to realize, because a lot of us, at least as when I was younger, and Rough Girls mentioned it, John McAfee said, He never killed himself. If he died, someone killed him. And then he died. Yep. Yeah, someone killed him. We know that. Just like we know what happened with Epstein. We know what happened. All of us know that. But it doesn't matter. The rules don't apply to the powerful. We have never lived in a democracy. It's been a democracy in name only. We've never really lived in a capitalist society. It's just that the walls of socialism that already existed were a lot wider than they are now, and they're closing in. We have pretty much always lived in a, whether you want to call it plutocracy or oligarchy, oligarchical dictatorship, in which if you say something against the powers that be, you can be erased from the earth, and the world just keeps going. That's just how it is. If they do something, it doesn't matter. But they're trying to force gene therapy and potential camps and potential regular gene therapy all on us. But they literally can have fucking trafficking cults and get away with it. And there's nothing. What am I supposed to do about it? All I can do is talk about it. What are any of us supposed to do about it? If you don't know about dictators who make you believe they're under mind control, it's because you've watching too much mainstream propaganda. Oh, if you don't know about dictators who make you believe you are under their mind control. Yeah, there's a lot of, there's a lot of powerful people. That's why I'm saying Biden, or even what's the guy here, Boris, well, he's not him, but Boris, they're just puppets, man. Trump was a puppet. A lot of people don't want to admit that to themselves. They're all puppets. They're all chess pieces at best. Action figures. They're people, the real powerful people play with them to play with us. That's all this is playing with us. We are the target. You are the target. I am the target. You know what I mean? But Prince Andrew, he's not. He can do whatever he wants. Just like what's the Biden kid? He can smoke crack Parmesan cheese, have whatever he wants on his laptop. Papa Biden can sniff young girls' hair. The rules don't apply to them, and we could joke. Only God knows what they do behind doors. We already know about Barry and his fucking. I know Chicago's got good hot dogs and pizza, but hundreds of thousands of dollars worth. The fuck is really in these airplanes, huh? That's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. And on that note, we are going to. It's always a hard transition out of that. Hunter, thank you guys. Hunter Hearst Biden. Hunter Biden. Yeah. They can do whatever they want. But on that note, on that bombshell, I'm going to try to transition into something positive because it's fucked up as the world is. It is fucked up. It's fucked up as these people are. There's some cool stuff happening. This is an interesting story. I'm not sure if this is on a positive slant. It's just kind of an interesting story. I'll go with. And with how crazy this world is, I don't know that this was ever a negative thing. I think the negative thing is that we found this. So there was two men who were lost at sea for 29 days. And they say it was a nice break from everything. And I'm like, they probably were better off lost at sea than a part of society. Two men have been rescued after spending 29 days lost in the Pacific Ocean, where they survived on rainwater and coconuts. I am not gonna Live Nanjikana and Junior Quolini. I'm gonna say Live and Junior. Set out from Mono Island and Solomon Islands on the morning of September 3rd in a small 23-foot Yamaha motorboat. They plan to travel 125 miles south to the town of Noro on the New Georgia Island, a trip they'd done before using the west coast of Vela La Vela Island and Gizo Island to their left as a guide. When the bad weather came, it was bad, but it was worse. It became scary when the GPS died. We couldn't see where we were going, so we decided to stop the engine and wait to save fuel. The two seamen, they could have called them anything else than that, survived on oranges they packed for the trip and coconuts they collected from the sea and rainwater trapped using a piece of canvas the next 29 days. So they were just in their boat? Jesus. They were on an island. So they were rescued by a fisherman off the coast of Papua New Guinea. They had floated 248 miles from where their journey began. We didn't know where we were, but we did not expect to be in another country. And then Jacana said, despite losing themselves at sea for nearly a month, the men have returned with a positive outlook. I had no idea what was going on while I was out there. I didn't hear about COVID or anything else. I look forward to going back home, but I guess it was a nice break from everything. Like, if you knew how to take care of yourself, would you want to be lost at sea for 30 days? Yeah, everybody knows what's happening. Only a few can say what's going on, says Jens Peter. Yeah, I got a kooky face from Rough Girl. One Rough Girl. I mean, I be honest. I don't care how close I am with somebody, especially another man. Being trapped on a boat with another man for a month doesn't seem that dope. Being away from this bullshit does, man. If I could get away from all this crazy bullshit, I don't know, man. I might. In the last story today, and this is, again, not really on the positive side per se, not like, but it's an all story. Because you guys are bigots, y'all hate Black Panther. I thought the movie was fine. But this isn't about Black Panther. It's about a Black Panther. It was rejected due to racism, no doubt. But she's growing up with a human and a dog. It wasn't due to racism. It's a joke. This is Luna, a black leopard or Black Panther, who was born in captivity, born in bondage and captivity, then rejected by his mother. I'm going to leave all the jokes about, just leave the jokes alone. She was adopted by a woman who agreed to be her caretaker. She was born in a traveling zoo where Luna's mother refused to feed her on the 7th day after birth. The employees did not immediately notice when the kitten was thrown out of the nest because it led to unfavorable consequences. I was asked to take care of the kitten because I had a similar experience and was territorial closest to the zoo. I agreed to take care of her and decided to redeem Luna. Now, I would not have. I think some people are too comfortable with animals, man. I love animals. Come on. But Luna's growing up with a rescuer's dog, a Rottweiler named Venza, and they formed a special bond. I love animals, but like, these animals can kill this woman very easily. Again, that's why I said I'm not sure if this is a positive story. Yeah, I love Rough Girl like Black Panther. The soundtrack was dope. I really like the soundtrack. That cat's gonna eat that lady. That's what I'm thinking. That cat, and if the cat doesn't, the dog is. They're gonna jump her. Luna's only 1 year old, but healthy and loved. You can follow Luna's adventures on TikTok, Instagram. So what's gonna happen when Luna's grown? You think everything's gonna be A-okay? And you can't really toss it back into captivity either. Oh boy. So yeah, that's a milk bone. That is a funny end. That's a funny end. We're going home on that one. I hope everyone had a good show. I know this was kind of a dark show. Some of these shows have been pretty dark. Pretty messed up, man. The world is pretty messed up, Dr. Phil. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. I want to thank anyone for watching. Hopefully somebody watches these the playback. Talked about a lot of stuff. Shout out to one Rough Girl, Jens Peter, Fizz Chozo. Please check out Goofanoid and support my man Fizz. There was more people here. All Thinker. Appreciate you being here. Better late than never. Brightest Day, who was here. Zach's also here. Is that it? Yeah, we didn't have the biggest turnout. But I want to thank anybody who did show up. Yeah, all thinking we'll jump to YouTube to watch the playback. Thank you, bro. Or broette. I wonder how it feels to be torn apart by darkness. Oof, that was very dark. That's why I end on positive notes, man. Because we can't be torn apart by darkness, man. This world can be a messed up place, but it can be a beautiful place at the same time. And I hope each and every one of you guys and gals have a beautiful day. If it's fed well, it's okay. Probably talking about that panther. I don't know. All right. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share, subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. Peace.
Some motherfuckers are